Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back. We are live, United Daily Live, and we are here with the latest Manchester United football news, transfer rumours, headlines, all that good stuff. We have it here on AdamMcKola TV on United Daily Live every single day, Tuesday till Sunday. 12 o'clock UK time. On Monday we're here at 10:30 p.m. That's because Premier League Gazette goes up at that earlier slot of 12 o'clock where we go through all the newspapers and things. So make sure you're keeping it locked by hitting that subscribe button. And later on today we do have a master debater session all about Odion Ighalo and Odion Ighalo's future at Manchester United. But what is going on in the news? What is happening with Odion Ighalo's future? The last we heard, and yesterday we spoke about how his contract, his current loan contract at United expires on May the 31st. But his agent has been speaking, and Chinese journalists have been speaking about some players potentially returning to China at a later date, and we will be getting all of those updates in relation to Odion Ighalo's future here on United Daily, and of course looking at Solskjaer's comments on Ighalo as well. He was giving his thoughts on the matter yesterday. Pogba being an impossible dream for Juventus. That's the story that we looked at in the rumour rater yesterday, but we can also look at it here as well. Ferran Torres continues to be linked with Manchester United. It always pops up, goes quiet, comes back up again. Not sure whether there's anything in it. It's a load of gossip at the moment, and he's seen as an alternative to Jadon Sancho. And we're looking at as well the latest news regarding the Premier League. Now, I know we haven't even started or restarted the current campaign again and got those fixtures out of the way, but we got a potential date from the Premier League for the start of next season as well. So we'll be looking at all of those things here on AdamMcKola TV. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Make sure you're getting your comments and your questions and everything in. I can already see Mark, Oliver, Ben, Prakar, The United Way, Ed, Will, Ross, Dan, Ali, Lauren, Gary, Sam, PKC, Ed, Will, Sean, Tom, Josh, Cannonballer, Joe Jr., Lewis. Loads of guys in the comments at the moment, so thank you very much for joining us. We got Glenn in there as well, Baby Yoda, Rami, and loads more. If I haven't read out your name, then I do apologise, but thank you very much for joining us here live on AdamMcKola TV, and of course being here for the latest Manchester United news. Now, what is going on with Odion Ighalo, I hear you ask? We all want the Nigerian R9 to stay at Manchester United. He's taken a little space in our hearts, hasn't he? He's become a little cult hero for Manchester United fans. 5 goals in his time here. He's only played, I think it's around 8 appearances. I may be wrong on the appearances, but he scored 5 goals for United at this moment in time. And when you look at, what he's brought to the team, a plan B, an alternative option, someone that keeps all your other strikers on their toes because of the simple fact that he wants it so much. Odion Ighalo has been a great choice to bring in as a short-term gap and as someone to provide an option and an alternative alongside Anthony Martial, and of course when Marcus Rashford was injured. So he's been absolutely fantastic for Manchester United. He has actually played 8 games and scored 4 goals, so I got him with 1 extra goal that he actually has. But nevertheless, a goal in every 2 games that he plays for Manchester United. He hasn't been starting all of those games. And when you look at the different kind of goals he has scored, his last goal against LASK Lynx, that was a fantastic goal, wasn't it? Now, there is a danger that United get lured into this trap that the short time that we've seen of him in a United shirt, we think that's the level that he's going to consistently be at. He is a player that's aging. Obviously, he's not old. He's at 30, 31. So he's still got a few decent years ahead of him. And I think used sparingly, he no longer plays international football. He could have a decent, 1, 2, 3 years as a plan B alternative option striker. Now, do United think there's someone else out there on the market for the long-term future? And in terms of making him a permanent, probably there may be, especially with the way the market is. But United and his agent have spoken about the fact that talks are ongoing and going well with Shanghai and Manchester United over extending the player's loan deal. So talks are ongoing. There's been no decision made yet. Solskjaer said he's hopeful of a deal. There's been no decision made yet. but we're in dialogue with Shanghai Shenhua. Now, we also hear that China won't let, and Sam's just commented that in there as well, China will not let any foreign players or staff who are currently residing outside of the country to return until October. So if that's the case, there's not going to be any special dispensation for Odion Ighalo or for the sportsmen and managers, and I think Rafa Benitez is another of them that's currently residing outside of China. If they cannot go back until October, it's again in Shanghai's benefit to agree a deal with United to keep Odion Ighalo at the club and at Carrington. Now, someone also mentioned, I think it was Simon Stone who tweeted, United wouldn't have him training with the club if they didn't feel there was a chance that he could come back. Because what's the point in training with Manchester United when there's the possibility he'll go back in a few days' time? He's not going to be involved in any of the games. So what is the point in him training with us? He could get injured. How does that affect his potential for new contracts with Shanghai or whoever? And talking about new contracts with Shanghai, his agent also said that the news in relation to Shanghai Shenhua offering Odion Ighalo a new deal is incorrect. This is what his agent said. Negotiations with the Chinese are ongoing and going well. On the other hand, referring to rumoured £75 million deal, in view of the latest regulations in force there, it is almost impossible to offer such amounts. And I kept saying this every time there was a new story about a new deal being offered for Odion Ighalo. I was saying to myself, surely they've got a new salary cap coming in. Surely there's a new wage cap coming in. Surely they're not going to be able to offer him more wages than he's currently on, with that being said. And his agents obviously cleared that up and said, well, actually, they can't offer him more wages because, the new regulations that are in place. So for you guys that are joining us late and those that are wanting a recap, at this moment in time, yesterday we heard Odion Ighalo's contract expires on the 31st of May and he will be leaving Manchester United on that date. Now, as it currently stands, and his agent and Manchester United and Solskjaer have confirmed this, his contract expires on the 31st and there's no agreement in place yet with Shanghai Shenhua. But today, we're hearing the talk as well, the quotes from his agent that talks are ongoing and going well. That's been confirmed by Solskjaer, who says we're in dialogue with Shanghai Shenhua over keeping the player. His agent also says the rumours in relation to a new contract are not true. And we also have this other news from China that players and managers or anybody that's currently residing outside of China will not be able to get into the country until October at the earliest. So this is what we're hearing at this moment in time. So if he cannot return until October, regardless of when their season restarts again and all that good stuff, he's not going to be going back there. Now, are Shanghai going to be able to get the Chinese government to allow, or are the Chinese government going to allow sportsmen to be able to come in still, in order to help their their sports teams and things like that? Who knows? Who knows? But at this moment, it looks like there's a glimmer of hope in terms of Odion Ighalo staying. Viva Ighalo and all that good stuff. So fingers crossed on that one. Let me know how you're feeling about this current situation with Odion Ighalo. Do you want him to stay? Do you want him to go? Do you want us to sign him on a permanent? Do you think just get him extended up until the end of the season and then, that's sorted? Let us know what your thoughts are on Odion Ighalo in those comments. I'll read out some of your comments very, very soon as well. Thank you to the guys that have been joining us on AdamMcKola TV as members as well. Appreciate every single one of you guys. So thank you very much for doing that. If you can join on AdamMcKola TV, click that join button. Find out more what it means. We've got an exclusive video, the second exclusive video coming up this week as well, which is going to be a great one. You've already got the one there with myself, Herrera and Mata, and Sam Homewood. Which is an exclusive video for members only. So click join if you want to get exclusive content and other bonus features such as access to the Discord, emojis and avatars and all that stuff, and you help support the channel. So if you can join, click that join button. If not, make sure you subscribe. We're trying to hit 75k ASAP. Thank you very much to Isaac. Hang on, Isaac. Sorry. Isaac says, "Sup, mate? Thanks for tagging Rashford on my tweet. No problem, mate. And I hope you're getting well as well, and you're doing well, and things are going good for yourself, guys." Thank you, United Rules, in the comments. Ross says, "Is the backup striker 20 million is a fair price, but we could extend his loan if players can't go to China until October." That's true as well. And interestingly enough, when you look at... One sec, I'm just going to bring this story up now. I don't want to get the dates wrong. So the Premier League have been talking about... First, let me bring you up on Project Restart. So all 20 Premier League clubs are expected to agree to the return of contact training. This is in the Times. Sources say the views of players have shifted significantly in the last week. Coronavirus tests have given players confidence in a system designed to make training as safe as possible. One of the factors that has made players feel increasingly safe while training is the use of GPS technology, which allows clubs to instantly check if a player has been in close proximity of any player who has tested positive for coronavirus. So that's the latest on Project Restart. We could get full contact training very, very soon, and that would be full squads as well. And I mean, with a view to playing football in about 3 weeks' time, you'd expect that they'd probably want to get that underway very, very soon. But it looks like with the way clubs have been doing things at their training grounds, in terms of the implementation of testing, probably new hygiene guidelines and all those kind of things, it's given players as a whole, you know, not all of them are going to agree, and you're still going to have individual cases like Troy Deeney and N'Golo Kante and all that, but the majority are happy to go ahead with full contact training, it seems, which is great as well in terms of if we're going to get football going ahead. We need the players being confident in what's going on. If they're not confident in what's happening, then there's no point going ahead with it. And we also hear, so let's say Odion Ighalo can't go back to October. He could actually be available for United's start to next season. That's because the Daily Mail are reporting, or the Mail Online, that the Premier League will tell clubs at Thursday's shareholders meeting that they want the 2020-2021 season to start on the weekend of September 12 to 13, irrespective of the conclusion of the current season. I don't know how we can say irrespective of the current conclusion of the current season. So you're going to have 2 seasons overlapping. That doesn't make sense, that statement there. But in terms of, you know, playing, it doesn't look like there's going to be much time for a pre-season in between. You're hearing the league will start again on June. So let's say the league starts in the middle of June. And you've got all these games going on. And interestingly enough, the Mirror have said the Premier League plan to televise 5 back-to-back games on Saturdays, and then the same on Sundays. Kickoff times will start at 12. So you could have 12, 2, 4, 6, 8 on Saturday, 5 games, Sunday, 5 games, which would be great for us like sat at home. You could do like a fucking 10-hour watch along just watching 5 games of football, which would be absolutely mental, and I'm definitely not going to do. But that's how the Premier League could be looking when it comes back in June. But they want the next league campaign to begin in September the 12th to 13th. They'd probably say the players have had, you know, 2-3 months of resting, or whatever it's been, 2 months of resting, and that's almost been their summer. So you may as well just skip that out. The 9 fixtures of the Premier League, the end of the current campaign, will almost act like a pre-season without your summer signings. You get your summer signings in, and then you've got a new campaign starting. Absolutely mental, but it looks like that's how they're going to have to do things to try and finish this campaign and not affect the next campaign, because we've still got the Euros 2021 next year. We still got Olympics next year. You've still got all these things that they need to cram into summer next year. So they have to rush all of these games through. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of fixtures happening. We need a 10-hour McKola watch along, says Cannonballer. That would be some fantastic weekends of football, says Sean. 20 million is piss for a player of his caliber. His top quality is exactly what we need, and he's got the right mentality. It's a no-brainer, says Darcy. He's still doing what he was doing at Watford. They value him at 60 mil, but China want 20 mil. You're getting a good bargain out of him. Yes, Safinski, thank you for subscribing. What is Odion's price tag? I'm not really sure on the full price tag. I'd say around 20 million. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Ighalo is very good, but he's definitely not worth 20 mil. More like 12 and a half, says Cannonballer. For someone that scores goals, though, I'm not sure you get them for 12 million. Afternoon, Aaron. How you doing, mate? We're doing well. Thank you very much. Smash the like button, says United Rules. Thank you. And Isaac has Prem. Thank you very much for your super chat as well. Get your super chats in. Get joining AdamMcKola TV. Get liking, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing. As we're looking at the latest news in regards to Odion Ighalo's future at Manchester United, and discussions are ongoing and going well. To quote Ighalo's representative and Ighalo's agent, United could be looking to get an extension on Odion Ighalo's loan deal, and China are not allowing anybody to fly back in there until October, so that could be an issue as well for Ighalo, Rafa Benitez and a few others. So at the moment, looks like Odion Ighalo could be staying. There's a glimmer of hope. Ferran Torres has also been linked with Manchester United as an alternative to Jadon Sancho, and we've also got let me just show you. So we've also got the new, I'll do that on another video actually. We'll get that on the Weekly United. I don't want to bring it up on my phone and it'll be a poor quality picture. I'm sure you've all already seen it by now. We're also hearing reports that Manchester United are offering Alexis Sanchez to Borussia Dortmund as part of a deal for Jadon Sancho. His wage may seem unaffordable, but a deal is still a possibility. Now this is Mundo Deportivo, so you can't really take that, the reliability. Alexis Sanchez to Dortmund though, doesn't strike me as something that I think could happen. It doesn't strike me as, I don't see them signing Alexis Sanchez. It just doesn't fit the profile of a player that Borussia Dortmund would get. He'd come in on a premium, even if he took a wage hit or a wage reduction to go to Dortmund. He'd be coming in on a pretty heavy wage. And then you factor in his age. Are they going to want to look to bring him in? They're not going to be able to sell him for a profit, really. If United give him to them, could they sell him in a year or two? Maybe, but it doesn't look like a risk that Dortmund would take on the face of it. It just doesn't look like one that would happen. My toilet paper is more reliable than Mundo Deportivo, says Cannonballer. What a comment. And yeah, I just don't think that one's true. That would be a great deal for us, but not the type of player Dortmund would bring in, said Sean. Yep, too old, says Mohammed. I would give Sanchez for a bag of balls at this point, says Nathan. A ball bag, if you will. Happy belated birthday wishes. Cheers, bud. I appreciate it, and happy birthday to yourself today. Hope you have a good one. Premier League approved return to contract training. Has that happened? Okay, yes, we've got that here. The Premier League have voted to unanimously resume contact training. Squads are now able to train as a group and engage in tackling while minimising any unnecessary close contact. So it looks like we will have training again, full training, and hopefully we'll get to see some better videos from United with Bruno and Pogba and all those lads. There was another story in relation to Angel Gomez. Now Angel Gomez is believed to be have been picked in a group to train with Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, and it's almost like a little carrot dangled to him there, isn't it? Like, come on, son, you staying or what? Let's get you in with these lads. So it could be a. Now I know it's only training, but it could be like a reward for having signed his contract and just showing him, look, these are the levels you've got to be at. Because in those small groups, you'd have to think they pick the groups with reason behind those groups for whatever they're doing in training. So Premier League have voted unanimously to resume contract training. Squads are now able to train as a group and engage in tackling while minimising any unnecessary close contact. So whether that will be today, those clubs will train like that, or from tomorrow, not sure. But the Premier League clubs have unanimously agreed to resume contact training, which is a great sign ahead of the potential return of Premier League football. Now, I wonder when we'll get the fixture list confirmed. Surely then, we must be getting closer to that kind of point where they're going to say, right, let's, okay, here we go. Simon Stones tweeted again. It looks like we are heading towards a mid to late June restart. So mid to late June. I'd say 19th of June will probably be the date that the first game comes along. 19th or 20th. I think the 19th is Friday. Yeah, 19th of Friday. So maybe 20th of June or 19th of June. We'll see football again, but it looks like we're getting closer with the news that contact training is allowed to begin. Glenn, how you doing, mate? Bellingham has signed for Dortmund, he says, with a few question marks. Now, there has been a few reports that there's been an agreement in place for Bellingham now. How do you read this one? Because United could have agreement in place, and Bellingham's just got to make a choice. Now, is that an agreement with the player? Is that an agreement with Birmingham City? I'm not too sure, but those are the reports at the moment. Now, United could have an agreement in place for Bellingham, and we're just waiting for him to make a decision. Now, if we sign Jadon Sancho, we may actually say to Dortmund, Joe, we'll back up off Bellingham, make it easier for us to get Sancho. Obviously, there was a lot of talk about Bellingham having chosen Manchester United, but that doesn't look to be the case at this moment in time. Now, this is a report from the Birmingham Mail or Birmingham Live. United are still actively pursuing transfers despite the uncertainty caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Birmingham City wonder kid Jude Bellingham is still thought to be on United's radar, having shone in his breakthrough campaign. Blues are braced for further interest after knocking back a bid from United for the 16-year-old in January. Okay, that's a shit story. That's not an actual update. I was looking for the story I read earlier where it said Dortmund were quite confident. There we go. Man United doubt transfer blow as Borussia Dortmund reached Jude Bellingham agreement. Borussia Dortmund have an agreement in place to sign Manchester United's target Jude Bellingham, according to reports in Germany. Understands Bellingham. Yeah, we know he visited United's training base. According to Sport Bill, Dortmund have an agreement in place with the youngster ahead of the summer transfer window. So it looks like they're saying he has an agreement in place with them. This is the thing with the current situation. Nothing's probably going to get announced till football's back up and running again properly. Now, I would love United to sign Jude Bellingham, but us having maybe agreed a new deal with Angel Gomez, maybe we're not going to get him. Maybe we're going to opt to stick with what we've got at home. Maybe that's a sign that he is going to Dortmund. Maybe they're not linked. I'm just spitballing and thinking out loud here. But if he goes to Dortmund, what can you do? I don't think it's a massive issue. Obviously, it'd be great if we could sign him because he's clearly a talented boy. At 16-year-old, you'd get a bargain, I think, as well for Birmingham City. It'd be a good signing and you get one for the future because I know that in 3-4 years' time, when he's looking to leave Dortmund, if he goes there, we'll probably be linked with an 80-90 million pound move for him. So you have to think about it that way as well. Danny, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate your kind comments. Bellingham looks a talent, but I'm not too worried about it. The kid's 16, 17 and isn't ready for United's first team. A couple of years in Germany might be good for him. We can always look at him again. What if we signed him and said to Dortmund, we'll give you him for a year on loan? I should be United's director of football. That Delaney for Dortmund looks decent, says Aaron. Bellingham will be better off at Dortmund. I don't think he'll get a chance at United, says Fitzroy. It's a good. Yeah, it may be better for him in the long term. But you just know United are going to be linked with him like every fucking window, every single month. United are going to buy him. United are going to buy him. You seen it with Erling Haaland. As soon as it went off, as soon as the move didn't happen. Guys, we've got over 200 people watching, but we've only got 52 likes. So get hitting that like button right now. Get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing. Get your thoughts in. As we also heard yesterday, that Paul Pogba to Juventus is an impossible dream for the Serie A club. And it's looking like a move that's not going to happen. United aren't budging on the price. We're not budging in terms of a swap deal. We're not budging. Real Madrid seemingly not as interested as they once were. Probably haven't got the funds to make it happen. Paul Pogba, all signs are, is going to stay at Manchester United now. I hope that's the case. We're seeing images of him in training with Bruno Fernandes, and I'd love if that was the future at Manchester United, and we had that for the foreseeable. But it does feel like maybe we're going to get an extra year at least out of Paul Pogba at this moment in time. So good news in that regard as well. Anything else that I've missed? Guys, get your thoughts in those comments below. Let us know what you're thinking right now, guys. Odion Ighalo, stay or go. I've added a poll in the community section on this channel. And I'm going to be heading over to Discord soon to get a few comments from the members for the next video that I'm making, which is involving Jay, Joe, myself. We're having a little debate on Odion Ighalo's future, which will include the poll results that you guys have, of course, been voting in, and of course the comments from the guys in the Discord section as well. So we'll have that up for you guys later on today. I upload my second upload of the day. What would be the best time for everyone? 5 o'clock UK time, 6, 7. I've kind of just uploaded in between that time. But let me know what the best time is. Because remember, this is your channel. And we want you guys to be absolutely locked in and getting the content when you want it. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to head off now. Let me just double check the the new red kit. Yeah, it looks better, doesn't it? What did I miss, Adam? We've just been talking about Odion Ighalo. If you've joined us late, make sure you're rewinding the video to get all the updates. I don't want to keep going back over everything that I've gone through. Viva Ighalo. It looks like Ighalo could be living on. And the merch could be living on as well, which if you want, the link's there. But for now, guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing, keeping it locked to the channel. We'll be back later on with Master Debaters. It's Odion Ighalo Day today. Viva Ighalo. See you later.